My name is Jen Dickinson. I'm a senior lecturer in human geography. My sort of specialist area of research and teaching is African trade and development. I just want to say something a little bit about why I like geography. Why did I even do it sort of all those years ago? And I think for me, geography is a really unique discipline. It's a very diverse subject. It encompasses a whole range of different subject areas. I feel like I never ever get bored doing a geography degree because it encompasses sort of politics, economics, sociology, lots of different things. Also, as a geographer, one of my favorite parts of my job is that I get to teach, I get to research, and I get to work around the world. So most recently in February, I was lucky enough to get there and back before the pandemic to do some research. So that was my kind of most recent visit, was to Kigali to do some work there about development geography. Also, as a subject, geography, I think, is sort of uniquely positioned to really help us understand contemporary global challenges, whether it's about the warming world, how the world might change, from loads of different questions about sort of politics, about globalization, about how globalization and trade might change as a result of the pandemic. So, you know, I think it's really uniquely positioned as a very kind of critical discipline. So I'm just going to kind of take you through some kind of key elements of geography, what it is, what it looks like, and sort of what to look for in a university course. So just to say a little bit about Winchester, just in case you're wondering where Winchester is, this is where the University of Winchester is. We're quite a small university on the south coast, really close to the New Forest and the South Downs. So I feel like I really need to like bust the first myth of geography, which is that a lot of people think geography is just how to colour in. Probably that's a lot of people's first experience of doing geography at school, is like producing these kind of maps. And really I'm kind of here to both kind of bust that myth, but also kind of think about the ways in which geography as a discipline comes from and covers all different kinds of subject areas. So you don't need to have a science or a maths degree in order to do well in a geography course. So for instance, the A levels that I studied were sociology, business studies, and English literature. And I was just really interested in geography, which is how I ended up doing it. We even have students on our courses that don't actually even have a geography degree, a geography A level, and also do really, really well. So it's allied to a lot of different A level subjects. So just to kind of say a little bit about what geography is, I think it's best kind of classified as a degree that is situated at the intersection between people, places, and the environment. So we look at the difference that place makes. So we look at the spatial patterns of our world, the spatial patterns of both environment and natural phenomena, but also spatial patterns of human phenomena. So for instance, if we think about some of the current questions that are emerging around the global pandemic, geography can help you answer questions such as, why do we see uneven rates of COVID? Why does it affect people in different ways? How did the COVID pandemic even emerge at this kind of interface between the human and the ecological domains? And we can also kind of use our geography knowledge to think about how the global world might change. How is this going to change globalization and trade and migration? And all these kind of big questions that are kind of central to the future. You don't necessarily have to look at the in all of these different interfaces. Depends on the geography degree that you want to do. You could take a geography degree that has a more human social sciences track, where you can focus specifically on the relationship between people and place. Or if you wanted, you can take the more scientific track, which looks at the interfaces between places and the environment. Or you might also want to choose a geography degree that does blend all of those three topics together. So it really kind of depends what direction you want to take. And again, I'll talk to you a little bit at the end about how you kind of figure that out. So I think as well that the kind of key thing that really distinguishes a geography degree from lots of other types of degrees is fieldwork, which is an absolutely fundamental skill that you will learn doing a geography degree. In fact, I would say it is the favourite part of my job. I absolutely love taking students both to sort of local environments just down the road to kind of look at it from a new perspective, or to the other side of the world, to kind of look at, you know, different geographical phenomena in those different places. And at Winchester, the first rule of our field work is that it must be fun. So, you know, from our students getting wet and looking at measuring river levels in the middle of the River Richin, which is just down the road from our university, or to students that I've taken to different places around the world, from New York to Kenya to Spain. So for us, like, you know, fieldwork is absolutely integral to a geography degree. In fact, it is integral to every geography degree. And because geography is such a broad subject area, you can it gives you broad subject knowledge about both the human and also the physical and environmental worlds. It also is a degree that therefore kind of gives you knowledge in multiple areas and a number of key sort of technical skills, whether it's using data analysis packages, whether it's doing more in-depth qualitative analysis. You know, it's really sort of considered to be a shortage degree. And it also means that geography graduates are in demand in a whole range of interesting jobs around the world. And I've just taken some examples of these from the Royal Geographical Society's website, which kind of shows you just the sort of range of areas that geographers end up in. So because they ask, for instance, in sort of questions about society, they ask questions like, what are the implications of an aging population? How can we best provide services to people? How do people in different places and different communities face different sorts of challenges? Again, because we ask these kind of questions about how social patterns vary across space, means that geographers end up in a whole range of different jobs in this kind of sector. We also have geographers working in sort of across the sector in a whole range of different development and global issues, again, because they ask questions about how can economic growth in different places be promoted, how can we get rid of poverty, how can we take positive steps to eliminate poverty, and also we ask questions about the global migration of people, the movement of goods and services, and how can we best manage and support those flows around the world in order to provide benefits for everybody. And again, there's a whole range of jobs that geographers could do in this sector. We also send geographers into business. Geographers are really good at asking questions like, where is the best location for a new company? There's a whole sort of area of like retail geography that kind of uses different knowledge about communities, about transport links and whatnot. Let's say, I don't know, like Primark is deciding where's the best place to put a new Primark shop. Then they will come to geographers to ask that question about where they're going to be able to maximize their profits. So they ask questions about where's the best location for a new company, how can you use limited resources, and also if you're a new business startup, what might be some of the risks for that in different locations, both sort of globally, nationally, and locally. Finally, we also have geographers that go into a range of occupations in sort of travel, tourism and leisure industries. You know, we send geographers out there who have skills in knowing about lots and lots of different places around the world. They know what it's like on the ground. They might know where new markets are for international tourists. They're, you know, very aware of the ways in which tourism promotes livelihoods for lots of different people in lots of different places. So again, that's another sort of common area that geographers get careers in. And then finally, the one that I missed off was we also have geographers who are in demand because they are really good with data, both human data, population data, but also physical and environmental data. So lots of geography skills, being able to use geographical information systems, for instance, are really kind of useful and very in-demand skills by a range of employers. And again, that's because we're able to answer questions such as, where do we locate and build infrastructure? How can we combine different sources of data to know where we might build the next road or not build the next road? They are also good at using data skills to look at how we develop new business opportunities, and then also using that data to try to value economically and socially particular kind of places, and why that might be of benefit to different people. So just to say something about what to look for in a geography course. As I've already said, geography is such a wide area. It contains a whole range of different subject matters, different topics. It's really common in a geography degree for everybody to do the same program in first year, and then to specialise in particular areas that you might be interested in, whether that's data science, whether it's physical geography, whether it's development or trade or social geography. But most courses start with a common first year. But again, it sort of depends on the degree that you want to do. So first of all, you've got to think about what aspects of geography do you want to study, and what A levels do you have that would be complementary to that course. So for instance, if you have more social sciences A level, then you might want to choose a geography degree that is more social sciences, and that would be sort of indicated by a geography degree that has a BA, a Bachelor of Arts, in front of it. If you have A levels in, say, chemistry and biology as well, you might be interested in aspects of the physical environment, in which case you might want to choose a degree program that is a Bachelor of Science. So that sort of tends to be much more physical geography in content, although not always. In fact, our own program is a BSc, which is a blend of, we only have a BSc, we don't have a BA track as well, but that in itself is sort of a blend of sort of human, physical and environmental. And even with that BSc, we do have students that don't do any physical geography, they just purely do the sort of social science aspects of geography. So you've got to really kind of interrogate what A levels you have and what areas of geography you're interested in. Again, because geography is such a wide subject, different degrees specialise in different aspects. So as I said, at Winchester we specialise more in sort of the human environmental interface and sort of different aspects of sort of development and politics. Other degree courses will have more of a specialist in sort of social geography, others more in economic geography, others in historical geography. So again, you have to really sort of interrogate the content of those geography modules in order to think about how that might match your own interest. You'd also want to think about what different kind of options there are to specialise in your second and third year. Some have specialist field courses, some take you to different field courses around the world that are sort of part of these more specialist second and third year modules. Some of those second and third year modules will also be specific placement modules, or they might be have sort of modules with sort of professional links, or they might be related to like teaching geography. So really have a look at those options. You also might want to think about which courses are accredited by the Royal Geographical Society. If you go onto the Royal Geographical Society website, that has a list of all of the accredited geography programmes. Some of the areas for consideration might be a placement abroad, whether that's for part of the year, part of a module, or even the whole year. Again, as I've already said, have a think about work experience, the ways in which there's different kinds of professional links embedded into those modules, as well as the different opportunities for fieldwork. And again, some of that fieldwork might be linked to a specific module, or it might be a whole sort of course, a couple of modules that you can take together. So, you know, when you kind of have a look at some of these programs, really think about what kind of fieldwork you're interested in. And of course, some of that fieldwork might be subsidised by the university. It depends on the course, it depends on whether it's an optional or a compulsory module. There's lots of different factors around that, but certainly some geography degrees do subsidise fieldwork, but do sort of check that out when you're looking around. And then you would also want to look at, of course, the amount and type of student-staff interactions through different types of class and different types of fieldwork and tutorial time. Really kind of ask about that when you're looking at your geography degrees, and I think that will give you sort of a good sense of what it's like to be there. And again, it depends on the size of the program as well. Some programs are really big, some are really small, like Winchester's is really small, which all kind of changes the type of experience that you're going to have. All right, so if you want to find out more about geography degrees generally, you can visit the Royal Geographical Association website, sorry, the Royal Geographical Society's website at rgs.org, or you can go and visit the UCAS subject guide, or even if you want to come and find out more about the BSc Geography degree at Winchester, this is our website, or you can find us on Twitter, or you can email the programme leader, Tom Bull.